In this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 things I do not like about my 64.5 Mustang when I built it. So let's get started. So when I bought this car out of Pennsylvania, so you can imagine it was pretty rusty. I paid $2,200 for this car. There was a guy up there that had quite a few cars. He wanted to sell his collection because he wanted to get a wagon. So I went up there. I think he was asking $2,500. I offered him $2,200 for it. He sold it to me. Came with the 260. It's original 260 F-code car, air conditioning. It was a 3-speed, manual 3-speed car, but this car was rough. I don't even know why. I went from my 67 Fastback Shelby clone to this thing. I only did it because it was a 64.5 and I thought they were pretty cool. Everything on this car was pretty much rusty. Only thing I probably saved on the car was the roof, the back panel between the trunk lid, and half a taillight panel. Now the frame, I'll take that back. The frame was pretty good on the car, but the sheet metal was crusty. You know, typical Florida car, and it sat in a barn for I don't know how many years. So you can imagine the rodent urine. You know, the rodent urine is what eats these cars up when they sit in barns and stuff. So I brought it home, started on the floors, rotisseried it, soda blasted the whole car inside and out to see what was decent metal and what wasn't. Wasn't a whole lot useful there. So it got a trunk pan, both sides, drop-offs, 2 full quarters, 2 outer wheelhouses, new doors, new fenders, new upper and lower cowl, rear valance, half a taillight panel. Of course, and it has the Shelby R model apron on the front, so I did the bumper delete on the front. I did use the original grille, and I did use the hood that came with the car, although it's not the correct 64.5 hood, but it was a Ford. Apparently the car took a bump in the early 80s because it had a date code on the hood, and it was a Ford hood. It didn't have the flat lip like the 64.5s had. And obviously somebody's changed the headlight buckets before I got it. Didn't have the correct buckets either. But it is a true 64.5 generator car. We'll have a picture of the motor, still sitting back here on the engine stand. I kept all the original drivetrain. It had an 8-inch rear in it. I kept all that, kept the 3-speed, kept the 260. Now it has a 9-inch in it and 4-wheel disc brakes. I went over the top on this car. This car was just supposed to be built as an original clean driving car, but it just spiraled out of control because there's really not a whole lot of styling, in my opinion, to these coupes. It's unique because it is an early car. It was an April 1st car, so it's a pretty early car. It actually had and I have to find it in my collection of stuff, it actually had a promo badge on the dash. When I cut this car apart, it was laying down actually inside the frame rails. And I put it somewhere so I wouldn't lose it, but I hid it from myself. But it'll come up one of these days. It's somewhere around here. It's obnoxious as hell. That engine, probably more than it needs to be on the street. It's one of the things I don't like about the car. It's not very friendly putting around town. Too radical, but it runs good. About 2 years to build, off and on, in between other cars. So the motor I put in this is a 347 stroker with a motorsport block. This motor was actually built for a Pro Charger as well. I don't have it on there yet. I'd love to find a period correct Paxton and put on the car. That's also an issue with the car putting around town. It's not friendly to put around town. The cam's too radical, especially with the top loader 4-speed. It likes to buck and chug and do everything else, but you put it out on an open road, it runs really good. The motor was built to specs back in the day when Mustang and Fast Fords and 5.0 magazine, which you guys are probably familiar with, had an article in there on the 5.0 shootout. This motor was built exactly to the specs of the 5.0 shootout that won that competition. This motor is just under 600 horsepower on that block. Now, with that being said, it was a company in Baltimore built, J&B's in Baltimore built this engine. Now this motor's had extensive head porting. It's aluminum heads, it's girdled, it's studded. The block's been O-ringed. It's a custom ground little naughty cam. It's got an 850 double pumper sitting on it with a air gap intake on it. It had a Victor Jr. on it when I got it, but I changed that to a dual plane for putting around town. It's got Ross pistons in it, Crowder competition rods, Scorpion roller rockers, all stainless valves. It's got double molly rings. It's got high volume oil pump. It's girdled in the bottom. It's got an 8-quart pan on it. It actually had gear drive in it when I first put it in, but I couldn't stand the noise, so that lasted a week, and that went out to the trash. Screw that gear drive shit, too loud. Top loader is out of actually date coded out of a 64.5 Mustang, but I had it rebuilt with the bigger shaft put in it. Got a competition plus shifter. It's got 370s rear gears in it, posi traction, 370. I can't remember the gears that are in it, but I know they're 370s. It's a traction lock. 28 spline, frame connectors, cowl track bars, split monoleafs. Like I say, it's got the 4-wheel disc brakes. It's got the Cadillac Eldorado rear calipers, which suck. I don't like those because the e-brake issue, but we'll have to address that here later today. It's got the stock front disc brakes for the Mustang on the front, the 4 pistons. And it's got a Borgeson power steering conversion I put in it, which wonderful. I actually got a Borgeson with a manual linkage clutch with headers, but I tell you what, you can't get a blade of paper between the two. It's tight down in there. You want to take a picture of that? I had to make my own Z-bar. I had to extend it a little bit, but if you look down in there, mechanical clutch with a Borgeson and headers. But you can see how tight them headers are to that steering box. It's pretty tight in there, but it works. On the Z-bar, all I had to do is add 1.5 inches, extend it, so it would clear that steering box a little bit, because the Borgeson box is much bigger than a stock box. And so I built the car in 2018. It took about 2 years to build it, off and on, in between everybody else's cars. Wasn't supposed to be like this. It was just going to be an original 64.5, and it spiraled out of control a little bit. That's what Marketplace does to you. Find parts. Oh, I need that. Oh, that would look good on my car. But it's all good. It's pretty nice. There's a couple of things I don't like about the car. One thing is it rides like a log wagon. I got a Caltrac monoleaf springs on the back, and I've got 620 lowering springs on the front, and the Shelby drop, and it's just the suspension's just hard as a rock. The other thing I don't like is the GM style rear disc brake setup, only because I'm not able to rig up a parking brake. And it's being a manual car, I need a parking brake, so I'm gonna have to buy the electric parking brake, which is a hell of a lot more money. I had it hooked up, but with a pull style e-brake, you don't have enough pull to activate those things. So I don't like that, but we'll figure that out. We're gonna put the electric e-brake on, and that'll take care of that problem. The engine I gotta deal with. The suspension, I just don't drive it as much. That's why it sits in the garage most of the time. It collects dust. So that's 3 things. The other thing that is the seats. Whoever upholstered the seats, the buns in the seat are extremely hard. They're really hard. It doesn't feel like there's very much, there is a lot of padding, but it's very stiff padding. I don't like that. And then the other thing, I haven't put my radio in yet. I've been trying to convert my original radio over to Bluetooth. Just haven't had time. Got a garage full of cars. Time's very scarce for me right now. That's why the 69 Super Cobra Jet car kind of been on a back burner until I get Jimmy's car out. But for the most part, everything, the car rides fine. It handles good. And the 5th and final thing I don't like is the exhaust. It's got those Flowmaster FXs on it, and I think they sound like crap. So I'm probably gonna put a set of either Dynamaxes on it or Flowmasters. But we can start that up and you can judge for yourself. Sounds kind of poppy. I don't like that. I don't like that poppy sound. I do like the tilt wheel. That's a must for these cars. These cars don't have much room. Look at my head. There's not much room in this car, but that's just the nature of these little early first gens. That's why I like the 69s. Got a little more room, but it's a beautiful car. Just got to perfect it, that's all. We'll get there as soon as we get the other cars done. I want to circle back around and change some things on it. Definitely want to put the e-brake on it. Definitely want to change out the mufflers, get that radio in there. That'll hold me for a little while. So the 5 things that I did not like was the Flowmaster FX mufflers. I think they don't sound very good. The seats are hard as rock. Whoever did the seats, the seat buns that they put in there are very stiff. The fact that I put the Cadillac rear calipers on there for the e-brake, you can't make them work with a pull handle. So I need to rig up some kind of electric e-brake. So that's a pain in the butt. More money, more time, more fabrication. Go ahead and figure. And then the other thing is the radical cam in it, putting around town. I wanted a nice driver car, but unfortunately, I built something that's not really street friendly around town. And the fact that the suspension is stiff too. It's 2 inch lower in the back and 1.5 inches in the front. So it does ride a little stiff. So I'll probably, in the future change it over to coilovers in the front. Not a whole lot I can do in the back here unless I put a 4-link under it, and I'm not doing that. I'm not rebuilding the exhaust for all that. I'll just have to deal with the back suspension. We'll get there at that point as soon as I get these other cars out of my hair. But as it stands now, this is where we're at with the 64.5. It's a beautiful car. Runs good, handles good. It's just, you know, it doesn't have the comfort features that I want out of it. So, but we're gonna have to get it to that point sooner or later here, or it's just gonna sit in the garage. I'm gonna give it to you. But there it is, 64.5. I built that car in 18. It's holding up good. Did all the paint, body work, motor, suspension, wiring, interior, it's all done. Oh, look who showed up. Mr. Bloated Toad himself. Let's see what Benny's got to say.
When I was 13, I had a Chevy truck, and I used to do the same thing. I'd rev the shit out of that all the time too. See, you're still stuck there. What? All you do. You
gotta run it
You just
forward.
can't drive it. You just can't.
Hey, when you got the power, you gotta use it.
I had a Chevy truck, same thing. I just revved the shit out of it too, but I was 13.
We know that's a bunch
You're
of
stuck
shit.
at 13. You got to get over that.
Two words, Chevy truck, so we know
Chevy
it's full
truck.
of shit.
You know it's a wonderful thing.
Don't believe you.
After
Full
13, you got
Full
to
shit.
learn
Hey,
how
asshole.
to
You're full of shit.
regulate the foot. You don't have to every damn time try to drive it through the floorboard. You know, it doesn't need that.
He's got a point there.
Straight to the floor. Wah! I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but good Lord, there are other things other than full throttle.
Now you got to clean them out, man. All right, guys, we hit our 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Check out the merch store. And it's hot today. It's going to be 95 degrees today. Make sure you go in there and get the tank tops. We got tanks, t-shirts, sweatshirts, long sleeves, coffee mugs, hats, and beanies.
This is the only time of day to be drinking coffee. It's just going to be too hot later.
Your frog is going to be sweating its
I
ass
know.
off today.
Maybe
Like and subscribe. There you go. There's the end.